gentlemen, this is DJ Prime. Welcome to B-Side, where we focus on underground DJ. We hear the dope stories. You might learn a thing or two. And we have no other than the one and only One Shot there. One Shot was good, my brother.
What's going on, man? What's going on?
It's a powerful, powerful name right there, you know?
No doubt.
If people know about the names and how powerful that name is, and then you deliver, it's crazy. So definitely, I want to ask you how did you get that name? You got to tell the people, how did you get that name?
I mean, it started in high school. You know what I'm saying? I had a little scuffle. And my man Storm, he gave me the name after the scuffle. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go into details exactly of what happened in the scuffle, but you know what I mean? He just got hit with a one-shot deal.
That's what's up. That's crazy. Tell us how long you been DJing.
I can't count the years because I really wasn't focused on that. But to be honest, I started DJing at like 6, and I started doing mixtapes still in grade school. You could say like grade school to junior high. So everything was still on cassettes. CDs wasn't even thought of yet. Computers were still black and green. There was no color on the screen yet. It was just the green light and writing that you would type across the screen and all that.
Yo, that's crazy. That's a wild, man. What inspired you to start DJing?
Well, my brother, may he rest in peace, Melvin. You know what I mean? He's a graffiti writer too. He used to go by the name of Per. We had a turntable in the living room. My father had a Technique 1200, and my father, just had it for a regular record player. He never touched it. My father was like, no, that's not, you know what I mean? So in the bedroom, we had just a all-in-one unit, and my brother would play records on it. He never scratched nothing. I was more intrigued of how the sound comes out of that. You know what I'm saying? The first time I seen what records was, but really never cared to really get intrigued with it like that. And then, one day he was playing. I used to have a lot of cassettes, so he had certain records on cassette that my brother would go out and buy, whatever. Like Eric B for President. The album is the first joint that we had as far as like a record. As far as my brother, he had that. So I would play the record, when he wasn't here. I play it to be intrigued to try to figure out, like, yo, how does it pick up sound? Like, how does stylists, what I'm saying, what y'all call nowadays a needle or whatever, how does it actually pick up sound? Like, what resonates from it? And that was the most intriguing part for me. I really didn't know what DJing at that time even was. You know what I'm saying? I would see him touch the record, and he wasn't scratching. He would just be putting the needle, like needle dropping, I guess, putting the needle where it needed to go, bring it back and forth a few times or whatever. But I was intrigued with the sound. And once I realized that sound comes out of the needle from vibration, that was just it after that. Once I realized you could touch it and it stops. You let it go, it plays. You bring it back and forth, it makes a scratching sound, which I didn't know what it was. It sounded dope, but I was just like, oh, okay. And from there, it was a wrap.
Yeah, that's an amazing story. What was your first the equipment that you used with your setup? What was it?
Oh man.
If you can remember.
Nah, I can tell you what it was vividly. My first turntables, well, actually it was one, so I ain't even gonna say tables with an S, meaning I had two. Like I told you, my father had the 1200 in the living room. Long story, we had got robbed. That was an item that was taken. So he bought another turntable, another technique, but this one was more like some digital futuristic joint where you put the record inside and you close the top and you press play, the needle would slide down and just go exactly to where it needs to go. You know what I'm saying? So we had that, and then my father was like, he would catch me in the room DJing with the set I had, and he was like, what are you doing? Like, and I'm just like, nah, I'm just playing records. I was like, I want a turntable. So he's all right. So I don't know if it was Christmas time or for my birthday, one of the two. He went and got me a Gemini turntable, BD10 or whatever. That was the first turntable I had, and I only had one, and I had a Gem Sound mixer at the time. And then I also had a pyramid mixer too, like a big pyramid mixer, but I had a gem sound too. So I would use the pyramid mixer, and the way it was set up, it was like, I ain't gonna say a jungle gym, but it was like different. Cause I had one turntable up here that you couldn't touch because it was digital. And then I had the one that I could touch underneath. And then the mixer was like in between the two. So I would just cross over from songs, learn and figure out what's what. My father didn't DJ. And like I said, by that time, God bless my brother. So my brother was dead. So like I said, it was just a trial and error shit with me. Ain't nobody teach me nothing. So I had then after that, my father was like, if you really want another one, because I was like, yo, I gotta get a pair. You know what I'm saying? That's what I kept saying. So I get a matching set to this. So long story short, one of my homeboys, he had the extra one that I needed. You know what I'm saying? I had a Sega Genesis, and I wasn't really into games. My boy gave me the Sega Genesis, and then I told my other boy Ray, I was like, yo, when I went to his crib, I'm like, yo, what you doing with that turntable? You need it? He was like, nah, I don't touch it. It's just there. Yeah. So I said, I'll trade you my Sega Genesis for it. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I bet. So I brought the other one home. So the set moved from the living room to my bedroom. So now I left the pyramid mixer inside the living room, but I took it in here and used it for like another line for more power, because I didn't know how to hook up equipment. Like, I was savvy with that. Yeah. So I came here, plugged it up. I had my two BD10s and my Gem Sound mixer, which was a 4-channel mix. No, I say 4 channels only because I had 4 things, but it had 2 phonos, 1 aux. I think the other one was the mic. Yeah, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was. And that was that. And I had a headphone jack. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember what the headphone volume was at. I don't even think I never even probably used it, the headphone part. So I can't even tell you where it was at on the mixer. When you turned it on, it ain't have no green lights and nothing, ain't have no lids or nothing. So you just press it, and the red thing would just appear on the side of it as like it was painted red. So you knew that it was power on. You know what I'm saying? And then my amp, man, that shit had an 8-track on it, encased in wood. I don't even know what the name of that shit was, but that was my setup.
That's nice. I see that you got the Technics 1200s. We can see that the beautiful 1200s. How do you feel about controllers? Well, I just want your opinion on it, basically.
As for me, I'm not. This is no disrespect to nobody who owns a controller, who has a controller. Me myself, I'm never buying one. I don't feel the need to buy one. Everybody, they say, oh, you should upgrade with technology and this, that, and the third. Okay, we in 2022 to be exact. If a turntable still is valid to this day and people still go out and buy records and still collect them, why would I feel the need to be in an element that started off analog and now I'm just going to jump into a digital market? I could see if turntables was obsolete. Yeah. They didn't make them anymore. They didn't make vinyl anymore. Then I can understand, like, oh, you know what? Yeah, it's time for me to give these up because they don't make things that operates with them. They don't make vinyl. Mm-hmm. They don't make needles. When all those things become obsolete, then it's like you have no choice. Yeah. But ever since controllers came out, the turntable market has increased. Like Pioneer, what was the point of them making turntables if they made controllers? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if the turntable era was going to be discontinued, it's like, why would Pioneer make a turntable based off of 1200 when y'all focus on controllers and future going forward? But you took a step backwards. Yeah. Why would you go ahead and then make a separate mixer by itself when you already got companies that already make mixes? So to answer that question is this. I tell a person, if they just starting, get whatever you want that's convenient for your pocket. If you can afford a controller, get it. If you want to buy some turntables, get them. It's more maintenance, but it teaches you a lot of patience. It teaches you how to, even honestly, like a person could have a kid and you can have your turntables, right? Mm-hmm. A turntable is just like a kid. You got to wash them. You got to dust them off. You got to clean them. You got to get intimate with them. The same thing with a child.
Right.
So it's really it's hand in hand. But if you don't have that time for that, then you get a controller. So you just plug and go.
How often do you practice?
Every day of my life.
Absolutely. They need to hear that because there's somebody out there right now slacking. You know what I'm saying? So
it's a lot of people that's probably slacking.
So
turntablism is more of a, it's an art form. It's a lifestyle, period. My focus is not so much on rocking a party, and not to knock nobody that does. It's just that I've been doing that since the beginning of me DJing, period. So it's not much I would say I would have to learn as far as curating, how to rock an atmosphere. You read off the crowd. It's not off I'm gonna go home and make this playlist and I'm gonna put this together and I'm gonna go play it. That I don't know who does that. I don't know when that was created. Real DJs don't even operate that way. Some of us nowadays, they revolted to some of the things that the younger generation is doing because sometimes you just fall in line and be a follower.
Rocking a party, right? Mm-hmm. What do you think it takes to rock a party, really, get it popping?
If you're a person that's just learning, or you say you got the confidence to go and do a party, right? And say you have a spot, you got booked for this spot on Friday. You know what I'm saying? So next Friday that's coming up is your day. If you never done it before, I would say go to the club and do your research on that Friday. Look at the atmosphere. Don't pay attention to the DJ because you're a DJ yourself. So pay attention to the atmosphere. Listen to some of the records he played, but look at the reaction of the crowd when he plays them. So you know how to curate what you're walking into. Not curate a set, is what you're walking into. So you get to know how the age group is, the diversity of the room, and then you make your assumption from the week all the way up to that Friday that you're prepared to get busy. So whenever you go to do a party, you got to do I call that homework. Mm-hmm. It's just like if you're battling somebody in the DMCs and a person sitting there, why you keep watching this DJ? Because I'm going to go up against him. Yeah. So I got to find out what he knows how to do and find a weakness. So once I find that weakness, that's what my strength parts are going to be. I'm going to focus on his weakness that he can't do. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I know how to beat my opponent.
Tell me a crazy party that you did. I know you did many of them, but I want you to tell me that one crazy party you did where it was like kind of more than a party,
Every party I've done has been crazy in many different ways.
It's always that one special one that sticks with
you. I started doing parties so young that...
About at what age did you start doing parties?
I was getting snuck in to do different things at a certain age. Like at 17, I was going to places I wasn't able to be there. You know what I'm saying? But I knew certain people and they had talked to the DJ, this dude is young, man. He's this, that, and the third. They'll give him a shot. You know what I mean? I rock for like an hour. Son, dudes give me my respect. Mm-hmm. But I'm really legally, I'm not supposed to be getting in there at all.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? But I managed to get in there. I did a college party, a few of them, many of them.
Okay.
And I have a lot of people that to this day I'm very, they're my family. I ain't even gonna say they're my brothers, they're my family. Mm-hmm. They went to Fulham University and everything like that. But a lot of we had some crazy times. Like it was a party we did at this place called Crazy House. That was the name of the house. You know what I'm saying? And I remember we going in, packing up the equipment, we get there, I set up, I'm DJing and they got weed brownies, you got upstairs people doing whatever they doing up there. So I go to the bathroom, my man hold me down, and I had one of my people from my hood. I go to the bathroom, and I see this big black boar, like a pig.
This is crazy.
This is some shit. You can't even make it up. It's like, I don't know where the fuck they stole that shit from. I don't know if that was somebody masked. Listen, bro, all I know is I was so intrigued. I'm petting this shit. I'm like, yo, the hair on this shit is mad rough because it's like...
They wasn't doing no sacrifice or nothing like that?
Nah, that shit was just literally like... It was like the bathroom is here. And as I'm walking, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that shit in the kitchen? Like, this shit mad big. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, how you get it in the crib? It ain't running wild. It's not doing nothing.
But
This
it's
shit
a
is,
wild boy, though.
yeah,
Right?
it's a wild fucking big. In the crib, a black joint at that.
Wow, that's crazy.
And then they got the keg upside, you know, niggas is upside down, doing all kind of crazy shit. And I walk back to the DJ shit and I tell my man, I'm like, yo, niggas got a pig in the back. He's like, yo, I thought you seen it already. I'm like, that shit ain't normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, how y'all get that shit in?
Oh,
But we rocked out that, you know, I rocked out that party or whatever. And then, like I said, it's so many college parties I done that was just like, this shit was just, you know, you had to be there to believe it because some of this shit sound like I'm making it up. I had a house party I did.
yeah.
That was on 169. If I'm no, that's 167. 167. They were saying the roof is on fire, let it burn, right? I'm thinking because I was playing like, you know, that type of music from house party or whatever, and I'm just like, okay, you know, whatever. Mind you, my man's really been tapping me on my shoulder for the past, I don't know how long. And he's like, yo, it's a fire. And I'm like, ain't no fire, man. Y'all bugging. Yo, when I look up at the ceiling, the whole chandelier was engulfed in flames.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? But people were still dancing like that shit was not on fire. And then when I really realized what they were saying, I was just like, oh nah, this shit done. So the lady had a fire extinguisher. She put the shit out. It was her house. The shit ended up falling anyway. Basically the party was over.
Wow.
I never been kicked out of a house party that fast in my life, and I'm the DJ. Like she wasn't disrespectful, but she kind of was because she was like, "Oh, you gotta hurry up and leave. You gotta get out, not pack your shit and get out." She was like, "Oh, you gotta hurry up. You need to get out now." And I got mad shit. I'm packing up speakers. I'm trying to find my peoples because some people ran out the crib. You know what I'm saying because of the situation. But it never got to the point to where it was smoking and firing and whatever. It was a blaze from that on the ceiling, and it was just stuck there. So we put it out. That was the end of it.
I hear a lot of people telling me that. I know when I got into it again, I was using Final Scratch, and then I got Serato, but I didn't go further with it. But they telling me that Scratch Live is the best.
I mean, like I said,
as far as sound quality,
I still use it today. You know what I'm saying? When I do mixtapes, or I do like little events, it depends on. All right, I have the Rain 56 as you can see there.
Yeah.
I also have the Rain 57 that you know that I brought to your crib.
Yeah.
That has Scratch Live in it. So at the end of the day, as long as my laptop is able to run with it, I could care less what I'm using. Now the newer Macs, like my silver joint over there and the other silver one I have, both of them allow me to run Scratch Live and DJ Pro. So in my house, I don't use Serato DJ. I only use Scratch Live. When I go out, is when I play on whoever set has, you know, Serato DJ Pro. But it's different as far as sound is concerned. You can do more things. You know, as far as like it's more sample banks and little things like that. Serato Scratch Live is more like the real raw essence of what DJing originally was without all these button pushes and setups. It's like you had cue points, but you know, it was in your computer. You press 1 through 5 or then 6 through 0 or whatever, and that was that. And you learned how to maneuver that way. When I actually was in the club using it, you know, a couple of DJs was like, yo, bro, like, why are you playing in ABS mode? But I'm doing my thing. I'm backspinning everything I'm doing, you know. And I'm like, what do you mean? What that's the mode that I'm playing in. Which you like, nah, you should play in relativity mode. You ain't gotta pick up the needle. Because that's what they was watching me.
Before you go any further, break down the two ABS and relativity mode. Break that down.
ABS mode is like real vinyl. So if you scratch and it jumps, it will jump. If you pick up the needle and place it somewhere else, it is not going to be in the same spot of where you just drop the needle anywhere you want. So if you go past, if the song is 3 minutes or 2 minutes, and you drop the needle past that mark, it's no sound because the record is basically over.
Right.
That's the difference. Your cue points don't work. That's another difference. So if you're not a person that never used real wax before,
Yeah.
it kind of throws your whole shit off.